It started with a scream. "Axel! Axel!" My son's voice, raw and terrified, still echoes in my bones like it happened 5 seconds ago. He was clawing at the air, reaching for his service dog who'd just been zip-tied to a metal fence in the middle of a thunderstorm by our HOA president. Yeah, you heard that right. Some perfectly pressed woman in pearls decided it was her civic duty to restrain a golden retriever trained to keep my disabled son alive. And she did it in lightning weather like she was tying up a trash bag. She had no clue who she was messing with, or what was coming next. 4 minutes later, a military Black Hawk tore the sky open and dropped down right on that same playground. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me back up a sec. My name's Lieutenant Colonel Garrett Rourke. At the time, folks in our neighborhood just knew me as that quiet single dad with the kid who didn't talk much and the dog that looked too smart for his own good. What they didn't know was I'd just rotated out of a 15-year command post with special operations and was currently on temporary assignment, running a joint training exercise about 3 miles from our sleepy little neighborhood in Pine Grove Heights. My son Milo, he's 8, has profound autism and PTSD. We lost his mom 2 years back in a wreck that shattered both of us. Since then, it's been just me, Milo, and Axel, his golden retriever and full-time guardian angel. That dog can detect Milo's seizures before they hit, calm him when he spirals, and help him walk when his legs go stiff from panic. He's not a pet. He's Milo's lifeline. But try explaining that to Denise Lawton. Now Denise, if Satan opened a wine bar in Florida, she'd be managing it, had recently taken over our HOA with a kind of gleeful vengeance. She walked around like Pine Grove Heights was some gated kingdom, and she was its platinum blonde queen. Always clutching a clipboard, always wearing gloves, always sniffing like something nearby offended her. To her, Axel was a rule breaker. And to be honest, I think Milo was too. She couldn't stand that we used the neighborhood playground every morning. Same time, same route, same routine. That routine is sacred for Milo. It's therapy, structure, survival. But all Denise saw was noise, disorder, a disruption to her curated suburbia. She started slow, side glances, complaints about animal dander, passive-aggressive flyers slipped into our mailbox. Then she upped her game, took pictures of us at the park, wrote formal notices about leash violations that didn't exist. She even tried to ban non-registered pets from the playground, conveniently leaving out that Axel wore a red service dog vest with federal ID. I held my ground, politely, at first. But the day it all went nuclear, it was a Thursday, gray skies, storm brewing like it knew what was coming. Milo had a rough night, 3 seizures, barely slept. But that morning walk to the swing set, that was non-negotiable. It was his anchor. So we went, like we always did. Axel by his side, scanning, listening, steady. I checked my watch. I had exactly 15 minutes before I had to hop on a secure line for Operation Iron Ghost, the military drill I was coordinating from home base. I told Milo I'd run back for snacks and rain gear, be gone 5, maybe 6 minutes tops. He nodded, that little nod he does when he's locked into his routine. Axel looked at me, gave that soft woof like, yeah, we got this. I should have known Denise was watching. When I came back, my heart nearly stopped. Axel, my son's medical lifeline, was zip-tied to the metal fence behind the swing set, his collar pulled so tight he couldn't even sit. Milo was screaming, full meltdown, rocking, clutching his head. The sky above us cracked open, thunder pounding like war drums. And Denise was standing there with latex gloves on, arms folded, like she'd just cleaned up a mess. "This is for the safety of other residents," she said. I swear to God, she said it like she was doing us a favor. I ran, full sprint, over wet grass, through the wind, adrenaline surging like a second heartbeat. Milo was curled up, screaming for Axel, and Axel, that brave damn dog, was pulling against the fence, trying to get to him, even as lightning started snapping too close for comfort. "You tied a service dog to a lightning rod," I yelled, grabbing for the zip ties. "I secured him in a holding area," she snapped, holding up her stupid clipboard like that made it okay. "You're violating multiple HOA codes." Ma'am, I wasn't just a dad anymore. I was done playing nice. My comms buzzed. Priority alert. Phase 3 mobilization. Black Hawk deployment at 1400 hours. I looked at Denise. I looked at my kid. I looked at that golden retriever trembling against metal in an electrical storm, and I made the call. "Control, this is Lieutenant Colonel Rourke. Initiate emergency asset drop. Code green override, target zone, Meridian Field. Denise's face twisted like she'd seen a ghost. Lieutenant what? And then, then it got good. 90 seconds later, the sound hit first. Deep, bone-rattling, coming in low and fast. The sky cracked again as a Black Hawk roared over the rooftops. People spilled out of houses, neighbors clutching their kids, mouths open. That chopper landed like the fist of God. Rotor wash sent trash cans flying and Denise's hair whipping in every direction like a cartoon villain getting what's coming. 6 soldiers jumped out, tactical, focused. One of them, Master Sergeant Lee, saluted me and asked, "Situation, sir?" I pointed. "Service dog, lightning hazard, civilian obstruction." He didn't ask twice. One trooper clipped the ties with bolt cutters. Another knelt by Milo, speaking low and calm. Axel bolted straight to my son and began pressure therapy, lying across his legs, slowing his breathing like he'd trained for it his whole life. Because he had. Denise tried to puff up. "This is private property. I have authority here." Sergeant Lee didn't even blink. "Ma'am, you have no authority over federal personnel or their dependents. Step back." She looked around like the rules had suddenly changed. Because they had. Mr. Finley, a Vietnam vet from across the street, stepped forward and said, "She's been harassing them for weeks. She made me remove my ramp." Mrs. Santos? She had video. Crystal clear footage of Denise tying Axel up like he was a threat instead of a guardian. And just when you think it couldn't get more satisfying, Denise made a mistake. She blurted out, "My ex-husband's a judge. He'll bury all of you." To which the captain replied, "You mean Judge Raymond Lawton of Superior Court? He's already been briefed." His exact words were, "Prosecute to the fullest extent of the law." Boom. Denise was arrested on site, zip ties and gloves bagged as evidence. Her charges? Multiple counts including reckless endangerment, hate crimes against a disabled child, interference with federal military dependents. The story hit the media fast. HOA president endangers service dog during lightning storm. And the whole country had something to say. Pine Grove Heights? Yeah, the HOA collapsed in under a month, replaced by a volunteer committee led by, get this, Mr. Finley and Mrs. Santos. They installed a bronze statue of a golden retriever near the swings with a plaque that reads, "To those who protect without judgment, thank you." And Denise? She served her time. Part of it in a program focused on disability awareness. She came out changed. Or maybe just quieter. Either way, one day she showed up, not to reclaim power but to apologize. And Milo, sweet, quiet Milo, looked her dead in the eye and said, "Axel helps me feel brave. You didn't like that, but he says we should give people a chance." I don't know what forgiveness looks like to most people, but that was enough for me. You tell me, was that justice? Or did she get off easy? Drop your thoughts in the comments and tell me, how would you protect what matters most? Because sometimes, the calmest voice in the room belongs to someone who once commanded an army. And sometimes, that army still listens.